What's up, guys? This is like my second attempt at this video, but it's about military enlistment. For me, is the U.S. Navy. Booyah for all you future sailors out there, and shipmates of mine. I depped in. Let's see, July 8th. Okay, so it's been a while. So it's been almost September, so it's been about 2 months since I've been in the depth. It's a great thing. I'm really excited. I leave next July, so it's just a great thing to do. But I wanted to cover this video on what you should need to know about recruiting and what you need to know and what you need to study for and who you should talk to and what. First thing, I made notes. The first thing is what you want to do, okay, and your reasons for joining the service. So like, first thing you can get into is you need to be like, this way I can show you is like this. Okay, you need to be enlisted or an officer. Okay, they're both equally good professions. This guy over here, enlisted, doesn't usually have a college degree. Okay, from what I know, just joins out of high school, and the highest rank, the rate in ranking chief is E9, which is Master Chief Petty Officer. Okay, that's the highest any enlisted. Like me, I could be in for 20 years, and I make Master Chief. I can't get any higher. See, there's Chief Warrant Officer and a couple other ones like that. But those are, really hard to get into. And there's a Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy. So he's the highest Master Chief in the Navy. So that's this guy. This guy over here is an officer. He's an ensign. Get right out of the academy. There's two ways you can become an officer. You can go to college and go to OCS, which is Officer Candidate School, or you can go straight out of high school to the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, and they train you academically and physically, and you come out as an ensign, which is pretty much like, it's right below lieutenant junior grade. It's 2 below lieutenant. Okay, and then it's like lieutenant, lieutenant commander, commander, captain, and then like rear admiral and all those. Anyways, that's the difference between these guys. Okay. First thing you want to do is, if you're still in high school, it's a good thing to get into, because your recruiters will come by and like leave tons of like Navy stuff and like a ton of their business cards, and they'll give you like they'll give you like you'll see like little pamphlets like this, that talk about things in the Navy. Over here they have this little thing that I mailed away, but down here it's gonna say like, interested in joining the Navy, have a recruiter contact me, that kind of thing. And it's usually the same for every branch. Okay. Let's see. This is more geared towards future sailors, but also Marines too, because Marines and Navy are the same branch. Sorry, any jarheads out there. You actually do take orders from us. Okay. We don't take orders from us, but we are your branch, and there are more of us than there are of you. So, jarheads. Well, again, the whole Navy and Marines thing is a whole other video. Again, this is like another thing right here. Got recruiter's card under there. I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get in trouble. Special forces thing right here, like a couple Navy SEAL ones, whatever. So usually, if you go to high school, you can go in like your career center or like your guidance counselor, and they'll usually give you your recruiter's business card. I'm sure they have tons of them on file: Marines, Air Force, Navy, Army, Coast Guard, National Guard, Reserves, stuff like that. You just gotta just talk to people. Second thing is, if you're not in high school and you want to look it up, first thing I'd recommend was to go online. Type in Google U.S. Navy, U.S. Marines, U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army, National Guard, Coast Guard, whatever. And their website will come up, and you can read a bunch of stuff on there. After that, usually go to like your local mall or like an outside place, like a shopping center. There's usually a recruiting office there. The reason they're there, I think, is because they want to be around groups of people. So like somebody will go, oh, I think I could be a SWIC in the Navy. I'm gonna take this and go home and tell my mom. So that's what they do. Okay. So once you've made the decision that once you made the decision that you actually are interested, okay, that you are interested in any branch of the service. Let's use Navy for example as me. I first originally I wanted to be a Marine, and then I didn't, and then I wanted to be in the Air Force. I thought with the Air Force, I was really gung-ho for that. I was about to actually join, and I got called from the Navy, and I just love the Navy and everything about it, so, that's that. you're interested, first thing your recruiter is going to do is you have to go in and set up an appointment and get stoked about it. I mean, and go in with like what I did was I took like a note card, like a normal note card, and write down things that you thought of then, so you don't forget them and walk out of there and go, dang it, you know what I mean? Don't go like, shit, I forgot a question. So that's that. You're gonna go through a lot of stuff. Your parents are gonna get stuff. You're gonna get a ton of like, stuff like this. You're gonna get books. You're gonna get benefits of joining the Navy. I got this all in my career center, by the way, in school. You know how you can join. It's got all this stuff in there. It's pretty cool. That's a cool book too. This one helped me a lot. That's all that too. So talk to people, get numbers, get contacts, set up appointments, and go for it. Already 5 minutes. I gotta keep going. Man, I'm gonna switch my hat. U.S. Navy, booyah! But I'm gonna put on my. Oh, better. Let's go back to Navy. So you're talking to your recruiter, and now you want to join. You've made the decision. You're gonna go to. Now I call this part truths. It's my 4th bullet here. Your recruiter is gonna want to know everything about you. Stuff that you didn't tell your parents. Like me, I'd been using marijuana. And I knew how stupid it was and whatever. So there's a certain cutoff to things. Like you can't have like DUIs. You can't be a felon. You can't. I mean, you have to ask them because they're trained to teach you all that stuff. And I'm enlisted, by the way. I'm not going to be an officer. Well, maybe while I'm in, but it's a different video. So truths. That's a big deal. That's a lot of paperwork. You're going to be sitting in your recruiter's office for hours with your mom. I'd recommend bringing a parent. It's pretty nerve-wracking, them asking all these government questions and putting them on paper to send away to the FBI and the military, so it's kind of a sketchy thing, so you gotta be careful. Next thing that you've decided to do is your ASVAB test. Now your ASVAB test stands for Armed Service Vocational Aptitude and Battery. Okay, and I recommend a huge study book. Okay, this thing looks like you feel like a retard paying for this, like, can I have this book, please? No, it will help you, okay? My biggest struggle was, let's see if I can find some of it here, was mathematics. And you'll find like, let's see if I can find it. See, like, buy this, just buy it, don't rent it, because then you can do stuff in it. Seriously, just work, okay? And I'll teach you how to do it. It's a good book to have. Your ASVAB, the higher your ASVAB, the better job you have. So my job I was contracted in as an aviation instructional mechanic. I work on jets, okay? I'm excited for it. I'm a gearhead. I like that kind of stuff. Eventually Navy SEAL, but that's even later. So your ASVAB, your recruiter's gonna set up a time for that, and you're gonna go with him usually down to a place called MEPS, which stands for Military Enlistment Processing Station. Okay, that's where you take the day you join. It's where you get your medical and your job and your ASVAB test before you take it, and you get your sworn in there. You get an ID card. I have it, but I'm not gonna, it's way over there. So that's what you do. Crap, we need going here. That's a pretty big deal. Study for it. I mean, I studied for 2 months before my ASVAB. I got a pretty good score. I'm proud of it. I was gonna be a corpsman, which is a medic for all you shipmates out there. A medic. I was gonna do FMF, travel with the Marines, and be a medic on them, but I decided against it because it's hard to promote as a corpsman. Okay, that's the ASVAB. Okay. You take the ASVAB, you pass. You're in. The Navy is a 60 to qualify. Air Force is the highest. I think it's almost like a 70. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's a big deal. So please, study for it. But I'll go over that in my next video. I'll go over more about MEPS and the depped in my next video, and even more about the Navy and stuff like that. So post comments on this if you want me to add stuff in the next video. So enjoy, guys.